Travelling around Amsterdam. Spending 3 or 4 days in Amsterdam's a cracking idea for a short holiday. Amsterdam's quite small, but there's still quite a few things to see, and on a summer's day, whilst you have to be wary, you needn't worry about wrapping up too much. But as the saying goes, there's no such thing as bad weather, only inappropriate clothing. That being said though, each day can sharply switch from glorious sunny skies to moody showers at any time, making it essential that you at the very least wear a light jacket, even in August. No matter where you are in Amsterdam, you'll find beautiful landscapes. Our hotel wasn't exactly in the centre, but I went even further away from the centre on a morning walk and found huge lakes, gorgeous canals and some lovely gigantic herons. The canals are really something else, lined with boats and greenery. They have a soothing aroma, and a few deep breaths can relax you in no time. We actually hired a pedal boat, which seemed as though it were a good idea until you realise that it's really quite tough. 1 hour on those and you'll be sweating like a dog. Even more so when there's a huge boat coming towards you. But generally it's really soothing to be on the water. You can walk around centre easily. I didn't see the need for renting a bike really, but people do, and there's a constant ringing of bells as they fly around. They say that the old Amsterdam was originally just the width of the central station, and taking any of the streets that lead off the station's a nice walk. You can get some good affordable food at La Place on Roque. It's like a market. We had some Thai food that was nice and spicy and went back another time for some fish. It all looks really fresh and the quality's good. Plenty of local people and everything's Dutch, which can be complicated, but they speak English. I witnessed a Spaniard trying to order 2 coffees in Spanish. The tender was so puzzled, bless her, as he regularly said he wanted a corto and gesticulated, sounding slightly agitated. It seems like everybody speaks English to a ridiculously high level. They also seem to have a sixth sense in knowing as they see you if they should greet you in either English or Dutch. The Dutch are lovely people. One of the customs that they have is eating herring. They eat it raw. There are stands on the street, and I wasn't sure if I should try it. I wasn't convinced, but I plucked up the courage and went for it. I asked for advice, and the woman asked me if it was my first time, with a wry smile, which scared me even more. I ended up with a herring sandwich with pickles and onion, and frankly, I don't know what I was worried about. It was great. It tasted extremely fresh, but not too fishy, and the onions gave it a great balance. I'd have liked to have tried it whole as they do. You can try the Indonesian food too in many restaurants. You can often get a complete tasting with little dishes, so you can try a mix of everything with a lot of contrasting flavours. A bit more pricey, but an interesting experience nonetheless. Close to La Place, you'll get to floating market on Single, bringing another lovely fresh aroma. Probably better in April or May, but you can buy a few tulip bulbs to plant at home. And if you're after more shopping, around the corner from Single, slightly west from the centre, there's Nijnstraat, the cleaner, upmarket side of Amsterdam with luxury shops, chic bars and cafes, and around the corner you have the Anne Frank house. I wasn't really looking forward to it though, as I thought it would be quite boring, but it's interesting enough and rather enjoyable. We booked online and managed to skip those outrageous queues. Around the centre there's an almost permanent, lingering smell of cannabis, with the famous coffee shops dotted around the city. This might turn you off Amsterdam if you're not expecting it, but I love the centre and the red light district, especially when it gets dark. It's interesting, a bit kooky and kinky, different, free. There's that aforementioned smell of marijuana lingering around and the red lights coming from the sex workers' doors. For some reason, I wasn't expecting the sex workers to be so good looking. It's all a bit different. You can smoke joints, eat space cakes, be careful with the space cakes, or go to a smart shop and buy some magic truffles for a stronger, weirder experience. We took a day to visit a few towns around Amsterdam: Volendam, Zaanstad and Edam. Delightful, all of them, and perhaps even nicer than Amsterdam itself. Volendam's a town on a huge lake with gorgeous, quaint and colourful houses that'll blow you away. The harbour's full of boats and wildlife. It's a lovely little town, and close by you'll find Edam, also quite charming but pretty small. You can try some great cheese, but it was a bit of a letdown after Volendam. Zaanstad has the most to offer of all these small towns, I think. You get those quaint houses, striking canals covered sufficiently in green moss that it looks as though you could walk on it. You have big lakes and old-fashioned windmills. Also, I should add, the beer in these places is much cheaper than in Amsterdam City, where in fact I didn't drink any beer. I made up for it in these small villages. I asked for a Heineken and the barman jokingly looked at me in disgust and said, "I'll pour you an Amstel. Heineken's for tourists. Amstel is the much better beer." I really didn't mind. The windmills are gorgeous and set in the countryside. It's very soothing. There's a shop and you can try all sorts of cheeses and mustards. The chocolate also is outstanding. Our last day in Amsterdam coincided with Gay Pride or Euro Pride. Either way, it was a bigger celebration than normal, and quite different too. They partied on the canals in boats, in the canals swimming, through the streets with rainbow confetti floating through the air. I have a lot of good memories from Amsterdam, but I don't think I'll ever forget the man in drag singing Aerosmith's "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing" in a very strong Dutch accent.